You know it's bad news when I'm gonna act like an NPC for the first 3 minutes, even though I should be making games. You know, there's not a lot of time. Zeddy is a very well-known streamer of a card game called Hearthstone. Hearthstone has been around for a very long time, and Zeddy's roots go all the way to Kripparrian, being a moderator for Kripparrian himself. Crazy, right? He's in a Kripparrian gang right now. No wonder he doesn't fucking respond to criticism, you know? That's just that's just not how things work around here. But that's why I'm using the NPC voice to introduce you to Zeddy, because we're gonna tear this shit down. Yes, there's something that Zeddy does very well. He spams a bunch of news videos anytime Blizzard does anything, lifts a finger, puts down a finger, presses a button. We need to know about it, alright? Even if it's a leaky leak, right? Did Blizzard accidentally leaked nerfs and buffs? Because we can't wait 2 more days. We have to talk about leaks, right? We're not talking about like GTA 6 leaks. We're not talking about Skyrim leaks. We're talking about we really want nerfs for the game because the game is so fucking power crept that you literally can't play it anymore. What's even worse, Zeddy's spreading sentiment like this thing over here, which is just the most unbelievable comment that I just received, which is Zeddy's comment about Murloc Paladin. Okay, so there's two types of decks that are sort of dominating the game, but on different points of the ladder, right? Across all ranks, we get to see what is the percentile of who is actually dominating the game. So saying that Paladin is not a problem is like putting your head into the sand and acting like a fucking clown. There's only another deck, which is aggro Paladin, that wins, and it almost like makes no sense of like, is it a taken advantage of the meta right now? This thing. Because it just vomits on the board, and then you do this, and then you win. It's like the most typical aggro deck imaginable. So yeah, in short, what is my problem with Zeddy? Zeddy literally ignores all the problems. It's almost like he cares about himself more than the fucking audience. It's almost like he cares about all the other streamers more than the audience, who just wants to enjoy the game, right? And potentially Zeddy has enough influence to ruin the game. Yes. This leak tells us everything. Everything, bro. Holy shit. We almost like had one choice. Do we nerf Paladin Quest? Or do we nerf a fun deck that you won't play against? I wonder which one should we nerf. In my comments, when I try to explain Cycle Rogue, which is another deck basically on this list of dominating decks, right? But one of them, Zeddy, is okay with. Zeddy's like, no, it's not dominating the top tier ladder, so it's fine. But what is not fine is something is dominating top tier ladder, and it's Cycle Rogue, and nobody knows how to play Cycle Rogue. Imagine a game having a skill requirement. You meet the skill requirement, but you get nothing in return. Zeddy literally wants you to have nothing when you learn to play Cycle Rogue. You know, what's the point, Zeddy? Let people fucking learn something of how to play top tier decks. Let them fucking do it. Don't cry about some this is not even a big of a scam deck. The main source of victory, apparently, is playing the Giant. Yep. You look, that one's played, and that one wins most of the time if you get to play it early enough, right? You don't keep it, you don't keep it, guys, but you definitely play it to win. Because you're drawing your entire deck basically as fast as possible just for the sake of playing this for 0 mana. Right? Only people in top 1000 legend, which is like top fucking tier, something that I can't fucking reach. I can't reach, bro. I'm a smart man, but I don't grind Hearthstone for a living. And if you don't grind Hearthstone, then you're a casual player that you're living in a whole different world, apparently. Yeah, and it's fine. It's fine. So, what I'm seeing right now is that Blizzard is appealing to the voice of Zeddy. They're listening to Zeddy because Zeddy is covering the news. He has a lot of reputation in the community, and he's influencing the game significantly in a wrong way, which is so fucking painful, right? Now we have to actually think of how do we cancel Zeddy, because there's also going to be a lot of fucking idiots who try and block the movement of like, let's cancel Zeddy for a fucking moment. Take a vacation, Zeddy. I think you're ruining the game, Zeddy. You know? Holy shit. Maybe after he takes a vacation, he realizes, oh, Cycle Rogue wasn't that bad, you know? And I'm pretty sure if you remove those giants, then you win. Then they don't have much of a threat anymore left. Like, you win against Cycle Rogue. So why is it so hard to remove giants, but it's so easy to praise Paladin and their giant minions that never stop spawning, and people are saying they actually win against this shit? I didn't show you Quest Paladin. Quest Paladin is this. The more Murlocs you play, the stronger they get. And someone actually is willing to say that they win against this deck all the time, even though it's like the most impossible deck to win against. Because not only this is the easiest deck to play, but there's no real answer to just like vomiting an insane amount of stats besides maybe making these minions go to sleep, freezing their board, and finding like direct damage to their face. I can win sometimes, but holy shit. I would rather play against Cycle Rogue, because I know if my opponent fumbles even a little bit, even if my opponent does not have all the cards, I have a chance. With this, the deck is pretty cheap. I don't have a chance for my opponent to not have all the cards. I don't have a chance of them making a misplay. Low skill deck is dominating the game. And this is something that Kripparrian, tries to stay away from the game when that is happening. He actually voices that sentiment of like, hey guys, I don't know why in Hearthstone there's like the stupidest deck is being played the most times. Like, and it has pretty fucking good win rate. But as Zeddy actually reveals, that's actually not the case. You can learn other decks that are just slightly better, right? And maybe they can counter the meta even better. Like, this deck is slow at the start, so something like Cycle Rogue could be farming those decks after all. We can only assume the dynamic, right? This thing clicks into place. Like, if Cycle Rogue summons their giants on turn 4, this deck in particular does not have an answer for it. But it can still summon a 4-mana 14/14 and then just kill you with this. Is that normal? Now just accept it as normal? This is completely normal and unnerfable? Yeah, wow. Fascinating. I love it already. Ignore the second comment though. I don't know what the guy is trying to tell me, because he's there, he's there in almost every video. And sometimes he's just trying to snatch some ego from me. I don't play horribly, okay guys? Here's Murloc Paladin. Here's the Murloc Paladin vibe. Alright, turn 5. Zeddy is crying about 8 mana I mean 8/8 giants. This is turn 5. Problem? 10 points of health has to be removed from the game. And I'm already taking damage if I don't do that. 10 points of HP. Alright, cool. That's cool. Well, the giants are actually something you have to counter remove somehow. Removal is technically a part of the game. No? We'll never know. Just find creative ways to remove giants if that's your meta. If people in top 1000 legend constantly spam cycle rogue, then there has to be consensus of like what kills the giants. He should be able to at least tell us. Because I found one solution to this. One legendary gives you a 1-mana cards, you take the giant, you swing it to the other giants, something like that. Now, this video in particular enrages me to insanity, bro. Zeddy fucking made a point that I have to make this video. I can't just sit here. He makes Quest Paladin look okay. Even though it's dominating the ladder and we don't know what decks it's suppressing, basically. Or even what classes it's suppressing. So we can see that it's suppressing Shaman. It's farming Shaman and Rogue. And Druid. And Warrior at the same time. It's farming these 4 classes. We don't know what impact that has to the game. But I do feel farmed, my friends. I do feel like I'm in that category. Of like, I like playing Shaman, I like playing Rogue, I like playing Druid, and right now, I'm being fucked in the ass. Right? But is Zeddy gonna report the rape to the police? Nope. Zeddy's gonna report himself of like, oh, I feel kinda like a diva today, and I want the cycle rogue to go away, and that's it. That will solve all my problems. Right? And Blizzard is actually bending over, but Zeddy's still not happy. But you'll see how fucking ridiculous this is, right? So this is now turn 6, and we have this board to deal with, which is so much more disgusting, right? I didn't deal with the previous board for some reason, so now I'm definitely gonna suffer. And technically I still don't know exactly how to perform this, but sure. I definitely fumbled something because I'm still learning how to like play location and whatever. I think, yeah, play these 2 locations instead of playing this, which would clear War Leader and reduce the damage that I'm receiving. And that's probably the play, but you never know. It's probably this is also the play, but yeah. Killing these, you do have to worry about if you're making a misplay. So in this case, I'm technically misplaying, especially when this location can help me out. But that's why I didn't want it to play this, I believe. This location does +1 to everything, so it would help me clear the board afterwards. And I still wouldn't clear it because all his minions are like odd HP. How did that got buffed too? Like something got buffed. Like why is this full HP? I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. That was a lot of shit to deal with if you ask me. Anyways, moving on. Another Murloc Paladin because they're overrepresented too. They're the best deck, and now we don't even get to complain about it anymore. It's like, shut up, racist or something. Like, what? Paladin has been dominating for 3 years. 3 years, Paladin wins more, and you can just go straight into Legend with Paladin. What do you do afterwards? You don't play the game when you hit Legends. You definitely don't play the game until you hit top 1000 Legend. That's for people who spam the game every day because they're fucking employed. They're employed lunatics, basically. I don't even care that Cycle Rogue dominates top 1000 Legend. Again, we're talking about you have to go through all of this. You can go through all of this fairly quickly, but if you don't have a star bonus, you'll start getting stuck in the gold rank. And even if you do have a star bonus, you will be stuck at here if you're trying to play fun decks. And down here is Legend. Something that you literally can't even see, basically, properly. It's Legend, right? And then, after you are like super duper ultra giga top tier player, you can reach the so-called 1000 Legend. Which is, no, 1000. I was, one more zero. 1000 Legend, you know how many people reach 1000 Legend? Well, it's less than 1%. That's the capitalist term, my friends. Of less than 1% of people try to change 100% of the fucking game, right? Hijack 100% of the game for themselves. Gobble it up, basically. And try to influence it the way they see fit. They don't actually care about community. They just don't fit in a little bit in the top 1000 Legend, and they want certain things to get nerfed because they have seen it too many times or whatever. Additional requirements are for them to be bitter about it. You know, if you can call that scam deck. Oh shit, scam decks. Some scam decks are actually high skill. Some scam decks are fucking degenerate and very obvious. So let me show you a scam deck that's not Cycle Rogue, that is up there. It's called Hand Buff Hunter. Alright? This is just Buff Hunter? No, it is Hand Buff. So you draw this, you discount this, and you buff it basically, and it makes a copy of itself. You plug it to the board. Basically on turn 4, you're doing the same thing, but it actually has more stats, and it's so much easier to play. And you have many more options of how to flood the board. This is just better and easier than Cycle Rogue. Why are people not playing and winning with this in particular? What is the difference, right? Because Cycle Rogue can do more things, and you have to strategize to be able to pull off more things, potentially. I don't know. I don't know anything because I have to play to find out, bro. I can't fucking figure out why the stats are telling a whole new story that I can't possibly comprehend as a tiny human being, right? But this looks fucking easy to play. Plug in one monster, there's another one. There has to be another one, right? Or isn't there another one? Oh, it's that guy. They make copies of themselves. And you basically make a 7/7 copy, right? If not bigger. Because you're buffing with a cup of muscle as well. Now, that looks pretty fucking cheesy. That one, if Zeddy said, this deck is fucking annoying to play against, holy shit, would I understand. But no, Zeddy is attacking Cycle Rogue. Something that is not dominating the game across ladder. Because this one, everyone knows how to play. If they just have 2 brain cells. If they understand that this is not a conventional deck. And you still need to have 2 brain cells, not the amount of brain cells that is needed to operate Murloc Paladin. Where you just like plug in and just see what happens. See how you perform. In this case, you need to spend a little bit of time to realize that these are your win conditions. Right? And even then, you play this, but like, it doesn't even show that these guys win the game. So, I don't know why. Supreme Dynamancy might be just OP. Why is that? I can't explain that. Let's not think about it. Alright, Murloc Paladin number 2. We're summoning a creature with Divine Shield and Rush minions. Everything is normal, right? that is also basically a 10-10. Because Divine Shield is 2 HP. It's like 11-11 technically. 11-11 for 4 mana. Plus he played this. So this makes it 3 mana. But let's not think about it too much. Yeah. 10-10, boys. The only redeeming quality is that the Paladin playstyle is very repetitive. But this redeeming quality is not even redeeming because it is repetitive. It is annoying to face against over and over again when there's nothing really happening here. You're just getting attacked by giant minions, and that's it. Since when Murlocs are giant? They have some kind of dream came true all of a sudden. All these little fish frog monsters became giants in the game. That's just breaking the theme at the same time. You would think they would swarm somehow. You would think they overwhelm you with numbers or something. Instead, they just become giants with divine shields. Wow, fascinating. So these two can rush, basically. It's a 10-10 with rush. Alright, cool. That's completely normal. You win all the time versus this shit. Another board on turn 7, which I almost concede to, right? If you have a board clear, which is the magical thing where you play card, win game, yeah, against Paladin, yeah, just have board clear. Oh, the magical thing that not all the classes have, and that's why Shaman, Druids, and Rogue is getting dominated. They don't have the magical board clears that wipe the board in its entirety, basically. Oh no! And they can't just speed up. They can't just be faster, right? So tempo decks are suffering because there's just a objectively better tempo deck that has one brain cell for a requirement. The only requirement is you have to have a brain cell. And now you're playing the best tempo deck in the game. Oh shit, guys. Even someone like Kibler tried to fucking complain about this quest in particular. Kibler, bro. Kibler also has reputation. This is Zeddy. This is Kibler, who doesn't want to touch Hearthstone right now for some reason. Oh, I wonder why. He actually explained why. Unless he deleted the video, which would be a devastating thing. It's time to take a break from Hearthstone. There was a segment where he's complaining about the quest. But the quest is not even good enough, my friend. It's not even good enough, Kibler. Why you complaining about this thing? So they buffed the Shaman quest. Because Kibler was complaining about these two things at the same time. And Blizzard doesn't want to nerf things when they don't have to. So if you're complaining about two things at the same time, or a card is buffing another card, Blizzard will basically nerf the other card. You know, not the main card, not the main problem. They might sit and wait, basically, until it's too late, basically, to even make an impact. Like, Blizzard actually loves nerfing cards in a particular manner, which also it's its own video, basically. Which is why they didn't touch this at all. Instead, the nerf we got is that this card and this card, they got chipped, you know? They got chipped. Like, Paladin wants to not run out of cards, but it still is not gonna run out of cards, so they still play this card. Easy mode. And they play this card because it's just generally good. And they still play it. Wow. So nothing changed, right? They didn't even got knocked out of the fucking deck. Alright, but the changes are chipped. Or as Zeddy would call it, they're just nudges. In fact, Zeddy's pattern of behavior is very similar. Again, we're trying to cancel this man. Can we stop glazing this man in the fucking comments? Like, he does good things, but he does bad things too, and the bad things are actually ruining the game, while the good things is just him uploading content. Oh wow, that's good, guys. Holy shit. So anyways, a leak happened, right? Talking about nudges, right? This was nudged. This was not killed. The reign of terror of Paladin is still happening, and it's happening more than with any other class. The only thing that comes close is Hunter. Everyone else gets to suffer across all ranks, except the magical rank that you don't have access to in the first place. Holy shit, right? And so somehow that gives the reason to not panic. You can win against this. It's like easy, bro. This is easy. This will spawn another set of like 10-10, basically, amount of stats. This inside there. So you have to take 9 damage. You just got to clear this. Now you have to start taking 9 damage. That's it. The only reason why you actually winning against Paladin is potentially this deck is actually not refined. That it might want to actually run some board clears. Because it's purely fighting for the board. It might actually find some like direct damage as well inside the deck. More than the usual. Because it might want to finish the game. This deck can actually even be better. The moment it is actually figured out exactly of what the deck's supposed to look like, right? And this is being figured out because, you know, you see the win rates. You see which quest paladin, they're slightly different from each other. You see which quest paladin, and also quest paladin is killing other paladin decks. Let's not fucking forget Imbue Paladin. So it's being killed even though that should have been nerfed as well. This was dominating the game at some point, and now Quest Paladin is dominating the game. And people are just sitting there, this is fine. Let's burn, guys. Quest Paladin? That's fine. I want more of that, please. It doesn't even matter that, like, I'm losing my fucking mind playing against it. You know, my channel has, you know, a threshold of, like, how much content I can put out. Because there's Quest Paladin that steals wins, basically, right? Steals my reputation. And it's like, holy shit, I can't get it back because everyone wants to fucking gaslight me that I'm the problem. Yeah. Yeah, we're burning, guys. This fucking community is still burning. And holy shit, we're in hell. Because of other influencers. Because other influencers can't shut the fuck up. And just suck in these stats that are being shown of like, yes, this is a problem, Zeddy. This is just the most ridiculous problem ever. That you have to literally look away to not see when Zeddy fucking hovers over this shit over and over again, but Rogue is the problem. Rogue over there, Rogue. Rogue is the probleme. Zeddy found a problem that is 7 steps away from being the actual problem. He found it though, so it must be the problem. He found it over there. You know, he had to look down, which I don't know if Zeddy is capable of doing that, my friends. Zeddy found this problem because he's also in 1000 Legends. You know, he's also grinding the fucking game until his eyes bleed. Not to mention his fucking affection to Legos. I will attack that too, because holy shit, this guy is just officially a nerd. And if he gets cancelled, yes, ooh woo, we would be sad because this guy would just not have a job, would have nothing else to do. Oh no. Get a life is exactly the shirt I want you to wear for this occasion, Zeddy. He got his 100,000 subscribers, and I think that's enough. I think we don't want Zeddy anymore. I don't think he can change, even. But that's just the next step forward, because I am frustrated. I have been foaming about this for years. This is the 4th episode, bro. Zeddy problem was happening for a very long time, my friends. Oh, what's that? I forgot that I made a 3rd episode already? When I was making the 3rd episode? Oh shit. Oh shit, guys. Now I have to make a whole playlist of Zeddy is the problem. I'll make it right now. It's easy to make playlists. The Zeddy problem. But it doesn't matter how fucking loud I am in this community with my YouTube videos. 600 views is not good enough. 1,000 views is not good enough to reach anyone, bro. My influence isn't good enough, my friends. I have to grow even higher and stronger and better, even though I'm focusing in this community on one fucking thing right now. One thing! That Zeddy is goddamn wrong, and he's giving wrong signals to Blizzard of what should be changed in the game. And if Blizzard nerfs the wrong cards in the wrong way, we are fucked. Because we might have to play against Paladin for year number 4, right? For year number 4. Thank you, Zeddy, very much. Now, I was actually wrong about the fire rack. I don't think fire rack is a problem. Like, no one's spamming that shit and winning with that thing. So, yeah, play card win game with specific neutral legendaries is not a thing. That's my second biggest issue right now. Below Zeddy, unfortunately. Because nobody's listening. Like, Zeddy wouldn't be a problem if people actually accepted it. But because he's an influencer, people just look at me as like jealous piece of shit, basically. Right? I'm just trying to play a game, dude. I'm just trying to... No, there's no jealousy, bro. What am I fucking jealous of? Of being a fucking nerd? I don't want to look like this. No, bro. However, it is a pretty good job. I would like to get paid for just saying, oh, something leaked, something happened in Hearthstone. Oh, this happened, that happened. Of course, I would love to get paid. Yes, you can say it's jealousy, but no, it's like, it is what it is. He has more. He has obviously more. And it's like, does he deserve it? I guess. Keep at it, Zeddy. You have it. You have it. Just make sure you beat the competition. Because now the competition has some dirt on you and can start harping on your fucking face because there's a lot of people who might be jealous, not me, who might have a lot of time on their hands to kick Zeddy in the balls and steal every single subscriber they can get away with. There might be people in this community who hear my message and they have already accelerated their YouTube presence. That would be the worst news for Zeddy, If someone in the comments right now is typing in of like, yes, I have 500 subscribers and I'm going after Zeddy right now. I'm gonna steal his job. Now we're talking jealousy right there. Good job, comrade, if you do that. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it is very possible. So he looks into the most notorious card. And he says, now I will let him speak now, because he says the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And he actually even gets angry because this gets nerfed. He gets angry. I don't understand what is the Zeddy sentiment. When I will explain this to you, like, Cycle Rogue has been killed. It has been destroyed. It has been nuked. If this nerf is real, Cycle Rogue will no longer exist anywhere. That deck will disappear, never to be seen again. While Zeddy says it's a nudge. It would have been a nerf if it was a nerf to the quest. But this this was a nudge because Blizzard was not focusing on the win condition of the deck. In this case, Zeddy just thinks of like, oh, the Giants are going to come down one turn later. First of all, Zeddy, they don't come down on turn 4 because there's randomness element to Hearthstone. They don't even come down on turn 4 unless you're a very good player and you're lucky. But okay, Zeddy is going to interpret being unlucky as the most devastating thing in the universe. And by the way, Zeddy complains about this deck and this deck alone for 5 episodes straight. 5 episodes. We have to listen to something that we don't ever play against. We never play against this deck in particular. We can only take Zeddy's word for it. Like, oh shit, man. Let's take your word for it. All right, we have to make that change in particular, even though I played it like across the entire game span, like maybe one time, and I don't even remember that game anymore. But I do remember vividly fighting this bullshit. I wonder why. Oh shit, man. I wonder why. Never have I seen Cycle Rogue. Always have I seen Quest Paladin. Never will Zeddy complain about Quest Paladin. Always he will complain about Cycle Rogue. Make that make sense, bro. And this is not even the first time this happened. Remember this, Zeddy? I still have problems with you trying to nerf this. Holy shit, do I have problems. Nobody played it. I tried to play it and it was a hard fucking climb. Holy shit. People in top 1000 Legend probably have the fucking big balls to play decks like that. And most importantly, you know, they're entitled to high skill decks in the first place that Zeddy's trying to rip from their hands. I'm just not sure why isn't there a sentiment in top 1000 Legend player sentiment that Zeddy's just wrong. No. Instead of saying that Zeddy is wrong, now we have Zeddy Stooges. Yeah, this goes even deeper now. Theo Hearthstone. Oh, wow.
So recently, Hearthstone revealed its newest feature,
another recent
pets,
nerdy boy.
and there was quite a bit of uproar about it in the community, and it wasn't so recently because of the pet.
I fucking hate YouTube sometimes.
So recently, Hearthstone.
Fucking hate it. So, disaster. I'll watch this right now. I'll watch this right now. Zeddy's situation is crazy. Is crazy, boys. Basically, Theo is now, you know, sharing viewership with Zeddy. Zeddy is sharing Zeddy's sentiment, basically. He is kind of trying to be objective, and that's what a stooge would do, you know, try to actually harvest real reputation. But stooge would also get, you know, Zeddy's attention. Oh, yes, free attention from Zeddy, guys. Because, oh, this guy's a respectable man. And they all want to destroy the fucking community. You know, they all want to do it. Because they're top 1000 legends, so they get to fucking decide all the decisions, right? Because all we fucking care about is number and climb higher and you have bigger balls, basically. That's how we fucking interpret all the fucking gaming that ever existed. And unfortunately, as you can tell, that's not working for the fucking game right now. Everyone is pissed, except I found the fucking problem. Oh, was that? No, that's Katy Perry for some reason. What? Why? I do glitch out before I go ultra angry mode. All right? My program isn't perfect. Yeah, now I contain Katy Perry. Fucking hell, dude. Na 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 na. I mean, at least she's wearing red. But holy shit, do I hate this bug. Yeah, now I hate myself, actually. Now I fucking hate myself. So, Handbuff Hunter. That actually is stronger than Cycle Rogue, I wonder why. Aww. Literally the bigger problem. But Zeddy, because he's focusing on this one particular thing, that's the thing that gets fucking hit, basically. I'm like, sort of okay. But Starship DK is fucking ass, bro. Holy shit, the control decks in Hearthstone are ass. They're just completely different dimension where you play for like 30 minutes. No, you don't play casual game of 10 minutes. You play a game of 30 minutes. Yes, some people might like it, but please don't enforce this shit down my throat. And that's what Zeddy's trying to do as well at the same time of like, let control beat aggro, and that's the end of stuff. I clean my hands and I rest my case. Let control beat aggro, end of story, blah, blah, blah. Aggro beats control, by the way, Zeddy. But that's a story for another day that he doesn't fucking even understand, that aggro defeats control. And scam decks are also aggro. Oh shit. Oh my god, that's aggro. And I can actually beat it. I can actually beat Cycle Rogue and the fucking Hunter with other tempo decks, but I'm not allowed to play tempo decks because I get fucking crushed by Quest Paladin. See, I can't even explain how stupid this is right now. Alright? But yeah, the hand buff Hunter has a bigger win rate than even Cycle Rogue, but doesn't have the popularity. Oh, I wonder why, because Legend players might want to play a fun deck. Oh shit, they might want to play a fun deck more. Also, Dorian Warlock, yeah, that's a real problem. That's what you can, point that finger at and be like, oh my god, this scam stinks. And I would completely understand. I would understand if you attack every fucking deck around here, not the Cycle Rogue. That's the wrong one. And on top of that, we get to see the ultimate, the badass propaganda. Oh shit. Look at this propaganda, guys. The Rogue has nothing in their hands. But I am losing! I am losing to Rogue! Look at me losing on turn 3! So, it is propaganda, it's also, like, not as likely to happen. But yeah. Good players have to defeat this in particular, and they have a thing called Brawl! Holy shit, do they have Brawl, don't they? And, here it is. Hey, where did your Brawl go? Alright, let's see.
Yeah, that's right.
And he skipped. He skipped the most important part. He played Brawl. Like, how do you go from one card? What did the fucking opponent have to top deck so the Brawl doesn't even clear the board? What had to fucking happen, bro? Holy shit. We go to turn 5 and it does, and the opponent has all the cards. Like, this definitely sounds like a high roll, guys. This does not sound like it happens all the time. Holy shit, man. Yeah, you can still nudge it down, but it's not that hard to fucking beat. If you nudge it too much, now you can just play card and wipe that shit off. There's more Borklers that the warrior has, and they spam it all the time. He just doesn't happen to have it, Which is what you have to deal with when you're playing control decks. Most of the time, you're not gonna have your stupid-ass fucking tools to reset the game to play your Zilliax that life steals for 11,000, basically, goes to full health. This is the dumb deck. This is the shit that I don't appreciate in Hearthstone where you play card win game. And yet Theo is gonna complain by playing a control deck he losing to aggro, which he rightfully supposed to do? Oh no, I will panic now. I am so fucking upset. Oh shit. Even his evidence looks like ass to me. And if he drew second Brawl, he probably would have still won the game. by the way, right? He has heals. He's gonna be fine, right? She just needs to top deck Brawl now, and he wins game. Theo, you're just a bad player. Why are you not top decking Brawl, bitch? Now, it's up for debate of, like, how exactly everything should play out and how toxic the Cycle Rogue actually is. But this is not up for debate currently. This is just whatever Zeddy's gonna cry about. And the other Legend players are gonna keep the sentiment. We don't even know what's gonna happen when Amaga Man gets nerfed. We don't know how the meta is gonna change because, like, 1/4 of Legend players are actually playing that shit, and potentially Cycle Rogue just simply counters that shit and some other control decks. You know, and Zeddy happens to be in the mix of the problems, right? Where both look like scam decks to him. Both have to be wiped out. Anyways, let's listen to what Zeddy has to say, because we forgot about this little boy, and because I got angry and Katy Perry, we couldn't fucking talk about it, right?
That's pretty terrifying. Maybe there's more, but yeah, Cycle Rogue, as you guys know, from me talking about it, it's one of the best decks, if not the best deck at High Legend. So getting Playhouse Giant, like if it goes to that mana cost, right, 25 mana, it won't make a big difference. It will maybe slow the deck down a turn most times, one turn, and that means Giants aren't coming down as often on turns like 4 and 5. Maybe it's 5 and 6.
It won't make a big difference. That's his take. He's saying this is a fucking nudge. 5 mana on a card is a nudge. Does Zeddy know how to fucking count? You have to draw, which is very difficult to fucking do in the first place. You have to draw extra 5 cards. If you don't draw extra 3 cards, you still have to pay for this giant a lot of mana. 2 more mana. I don't think they all come down on 0 mana, by the way. They can come down on 1 mana, right? But requiring 5 extra draws? Holy shit, is that a big-ass requirement? And if this is a nudge, does Zeddy want this to go to 30 mana, where you literally have to draw your entire deck, which is literally impossible? Until turn 6 or something, bro. Like, what are you talking about? That's a nudge? This is not 20%, 25% nerf, my friends. Again, your goal is to draw 20 cards previously. That has been shifted to drawing 25 cards, which you have to do as quickly as possible. You complete 1/3 of your deck when it was 20 mana. You complete 83% of your deck when it's 25 mana. Let me do the math, guys. We're gonna get to somewhere. If it went from 15 to 20 mana, right? This one is tough, actually. We would go from 50% to 16%, 66%, right? And now we're going to 83% deck drawn. Cycle Rogue can't just draw imaginary cards that it's cycled into the deck. Even if it draws like a Meteor, it doesn't actually count towards the discount. It's trying to do whatever it takes to just play this giant. The moment this giant gets even 2 mana nerf, it will be... no, the real math is this, right? The real math, you either can play it for 0 mana, or now you have to pay 2 mana. But if you were able to play it at 2 mana, now you had to pay 4 mana. And now paying 4 mana for a giant is literally useless. Literally a pointless thing to do because opponent will find the answer. And again, there is an answer called freeze. You can actually get freeze spells. You actually have to dig deeper when you're playing control decks into making sure that you have as many meta answers as you possibly can get, including maybe it's worth dirty ratting some of the rogue cards, even though they might have a giant stuck in their hands, right? Who knows how you actually counter this deck? But if this is a win condition, if a stat bomb is a win condition, you can probably find a way to defeat it. Yeah, this goes from 0 mana to 5 mana. Unless you draw 5 more cards. That's how you have to actually look at it. Right? Looking at it from the perspective of the percentage of the deck drawn, it's not exactly cute, because it looks exactly the same. If you do the math wrong, because this is not how you do it. Don't be confused, because I'm going to show you a different way to look at math in general. While the percentages are going up and up, there's a different thing that is happening here. There's the deck left over. 33% of the deck is left over. 17% of the deck is left over. Okay. It kind of shows you, it's kind of more aligned to like how difficult it is to just force draw as many cards as possible. Because in this case, we literally increase the problem by 2 times. The Giant is now more difficult to play, 2 times more difficult. So it's not going to come down on turn 5. It's probably going to come down on turn 6 now with 5 mana difference. It will come down on turn 6, not 5. 2 turns is more than enough for Zeddy to stop crying. And for this deck to never exist ever again. But most of the time people will have to wait and see of what actually happens. And I can't wait for that, guys. I can't wait for you to see it.
6, like, again, it's very much a nudge. It's very much a nudge to that deck, which they've already nerfed multiple times.
It's a nudge. Playhouse Giant happens to be the win game card. I already showed you that the nerf happened to the most biggest win rate card, which Blizzard refused to do. We saw that Blizzard refused to nerf the actual problem, which is like the quest is too fucking strong, and it's overrepresented, and it's not fun to play. Right? But nope. Nope. We're not gonna nerf the quest. We're gonna actually suck up to Zeddy in particular, and even if they suck up to the motherfucking Zeddy, he's still not happy. Oh, motherfucker!